Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. Today is the first tutorial video on customizing a LEGO Compatible concavenator. And thanks to bensound.com royalty-free music for the awesome background. For the first of a series of tutorial videos, this is the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom concavenator. Alright, so before we start with our customization, first you have to get ready with some basic things. It's not a lot actually, and you might find that some of the things that you'll be needing here would be just lying around your house. So first you'll need a pencil, then some paper, a scissor, a saw, some clippers, a marker, a permanent one, some sandpaper, two-part epoxy, alright, A and B, and of course your base figure. First, let's start with planning and sketching. Bear in mind the shape of what you wanted to custom and also the shape of your base figure. From here, you can start with your planning by sketching in light strokes with your pencil the overall shape of your base figure and mapping out the shape. Alright, and ching! So this is the plan so far. I also wanted to add the arms of the sticky block. I think it will look good on the figure. I also wanted to lengthen the figure and also put the infamous humps on the back. To lengthen the figure, I'll add 2x3 base plate on top and cut the neck in several pieces to make an appropriate angle for the head. After you have laid down the plan, now it's time for you to mark the base figure. Mark strategically where you will be cutting and always consider where the articulations will go so they won't break when you attach them together. And so here are the points where I will be cutting. Now it's time to prepare the base figure before we kit bash. I will be using this simple handsaw. Careful with your hands. If you were a kid, please ask your parents to do this for you. So far, this is where we are at. Now, kit bashing is actually putting together different parts from different figures, and this is how it went. I had the sticky Moloch arms, the 2x3 base plate, and also a tail from, I think that's a raptor. There are some points where you have to really use and attach super glue. So just go on with it. Now it's time for us to put some stuffings. I usually use aluminum foil for this one, but you can actually use paper. And on with some more kit bashing. I used the Dilophosaurus crest and also the Dilophosaurus frills for the humps of the concavenator. At this point, you can test and look at the figure from different angles and see if you're happy with it. Once you are happy and satisfied with the overall look of the figure, you may now proceed with the details. And one of the important details that needs to be established here would be the shape of the head, of course. So let's see what we can do about it. Alright, it's time to reshape it. I usually use my handy dandy Dremel tool for this one, but actually you can use a regular sandpaper if you want. And there, I think I'm happy with the shape. Now we will be proceeding with sculpting. Alright, now for sculpting, I will be using 2 equal parts of A and B of epoxy. I use the non-sag epoxy because it's easier to manage and it dries faster. Mix very well to attain a uniform consistency. I usually use gloves for this, but I really cannot find it. But guys, please do a glove for your protection. Take your time with this procedure. Try to smoothen the surface the best you can so that you won't have seams when it dries. Run your fingers very gently on top of the clay towards the actual base figure. You'll see that there will be less seams to it, but if they did, after drying, you could always sand it off. Continue on with this process until you are finished sculpting on all the figure parts. And this is the figure with the finished sculpt. Now, we just have to wait 24 hours before we proceed with the next step. Once it's dried and cured, it's time for us to wet sand. All you need here is some water, some liquid detergent, and of course your sandpaper. It is better for you to sand or wet sand your figure in separate parts. It will have a nice grip on the figure, and also the sandpaper will glide through smoothly. Check every now and then if there are bumps, and also on the seams as well. Once you are satisfied with your wet sanding, just dry it with a paper towel and wait for it to dry further. Alright, it's dried now. Let's assemble it. the head, then the legs, and of course the arms. Note that I have added a fourth finger here, just like the concavenator in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Of course, we don't just stop there. Now it is time for us to paint. Here are the things that you will be needing. A primer paint. I usually use the number 88 medium gray by Boston. Please read through the signs and the warnings. You might want to follow them. I will be using also acrylic paint, so I have these colors at hand. Some brushes, a small one for detailing, and this clear coat. I use the 191 non-gloss coat. Okay, let's start. Let's have this one primed. And voila! Just like magic! And now it's time to paint with acrylics. I will let you guys enjoy this part of the video. But before I let you guys off, if you just have basic colors like me, do experiment to mix on the colors to check if you do have the right color. Test it on paper before putting it on the figure. Alright, enjoy the rest of the video. Enough my squeaky boys. When it comes to detailing, I would advise you to use the smallest brush that you have. If you are not yet confident with your hands, maybe you can use also permanent markers with different colors. Now it is time to put on the fine details. I usually use this Pilot fine and extra fine pen for this purpose. I would usually line the eye first. but it is really up to you how you want to do it. Just enjoy what you're doing, and make sure that you don't overline it. Unless you like it with long lashes. Just kidding. And here's the finished figure. I did make some adjustments to the neck as well as the paint details just to make it better. I always keep an open mind so that I can always change my figures or my customs whenever I can. It is always good practice to take suggestions and criticisms very lightheartedly and objectively. This kind of mind setting will actually help you improve on your art form or on your work as well. I guess this is the end of the first tutorial video. Do tune in for more awesome videos next time. And as always, do like, share, and subscribe. And also hit that notification button if you like my content. Maraming salamat, and goodbye everyone, and take care.